Hello, I'm Jim Galanti. I'm going to tell you today about Southworth's new product called the Stack-N-Go. This is a full power stacker. This stacker is designed to be used in intermittent duty applications. In other words, in applications where you are using a stacker hourly, one-shift operations, maybe light-duty, two-shift operations. But this stacker is a well-made, well-designed stacker. We have designed it with you in mind, with the operator in mind. When I say that, we have a couple features that are very, very noteworthy. The first feature you notice is the narrow mast. The narrow mast allows the operator to see the load that he's picking up and trying to move or position into a pallet rack or position into a workstation. The handle is also offset to one side so that the mast is not in the way, that he can see where he's going. This is a full power stacker, meaning that it's power up and down, but it's also power traverse. So we can move the stacker around, and that power allows the operator to move loads up to 3,000 pounds and reposition them. There's a number of features in all of these models. There's a total of 4 models available. This is called the straddle design. The straddle design will pick up any pallet, whether it has an opened or closed bottom. In the straddle design, we have a set of outriggers. These outriggers that lay on the floor, and they're adjustable. We can move those out as far as 50 inches or as close in as 40 inches. And that allows you to straddle around a pallet. There is 2 models of straddle stacker. There is the lower one, which is 43 inches of travel, and then there's this one, which is 90 inches of travel. In the 90-inch travel model, you'll see that the mast travels up above this section. It has a telescoping mast. I can't quite raise it all the way here in the office, but you kind of get the idea. We can go to 90 inches. In the 43-inch model, in the 43-inch raised height model, this section, this telescoping section, doesn't exist. It's just not here. The mast is right here, and nothing protrudes above the mast when you raise it to 43 inches. So in the 43-inch model, this carriage moves up here in the mast, but never goes above it. So the raised height of a 43-inch travel unit is 62 inches. That's the height of the mast. In this model, which is a 90-inch raised height unit, the overall height is 109 inches. That's from the floor to the very top of the mast when it's fully raised. 109 inches. Now, there is 2 capacities. In this model we're looking at here in this demonstration, this is a 2,500 pound capacity unit. It'll raise 2,500 pounds with a load center out 24 inches. The 43-inch raised height unit has a capacity of 3,000 pounds. Now I said there's 4 models. The other 2 models are what's called a forkover design. In a forkover design, these outriggers that you see outside the forks are now positioned in here, and they're actually laying under these forks. And that's why they call it a forkover. The forks lay on top of the outriggers. Now, there's 2 models of forkover design. There is a 21-inch, which is a standard Euro pallet or a narrow pallet jack. And then there's a 27-inch design, which is a standard U.S. pallet jack width. So 21, 27-inch forkover design. Both of those forkover designs, because of the narrow forks, are both 43-inch travel or 43-inch raised height units. We do not make a 90-inch raised height unit in a forkover design. These are highly maneuverable, and they have a number of features. When I say they're highly maneuverable, they have a turning radius of about 50 inches. They'll just about turn in their own diameter. They also have XL decel. In other words, we can move very slowly, we can creep forward, just like you would press on a gas pedal in your car. We can get it to creep forward, or we can step on the gas. We can go quite fast. So they have XL decel, so when you're positioning something in a small work area, a small work cell, or you're trying to get into a tight-fitting rack, you have a great deal of control. You can make the unit creep forward or creep just as much as you need to. The other thing that's built into these, which is part of the standard that these are built to, is it has a belly button stop. In other words, if I were backing up into a wall, and there was a wall behind me, and I were to run the unit into myself, I could pin myself against a wall. It has a belly button stop, which is right here. And when we hit the belly button stop, the unit reverses. So you can't hurt yourself. You can't run yourself over. The other thing that the Stack-N-Go has built into it is an automatic brake. When we release the handle, turn it sideways so you can see it. When we release the handle, it sets the brake. In other words, the unit can't move. Won't go in either direction. It also has built into it a safety device so that when I'm in this position, I can't go forward or back. I can raise and I can lower, but I can't go forward or back. I have to get the handle into what's called the operating position, which is right about here and down to about here. If I get it too low, it won't move, and if I get it too high, it won't move. I have to be in the operator position. That gives me control of the unit when I'm walking with it either forward or back. It also has built into it an e-stop. We can shut the unit off, and when we shut it off, everything is dead. It also has a key lock in it. So there's a key, and that key prevents unauthorized people from using the unit. Now in the back here, there's a dashboard. There's a plug-in for the built-in battery charger. And the batteries are housed down inside here. They're pre-wired, and both batteries, these are 12-volt, deep-draw marine batteries. These are lead-acid batteries, but they're sealed. So there's no maintenance, there's no water that you can put in them, no acid required. But they are lead-acid batteries. They're deep-draw marine batteries, sealed. Low-maintenance, sealed batteries. It has a charger, and the charger plugs right in here to the dashboard and plugs into any 110 outlet. It also has an hour meter, and it has a battery indicator. The hour meter tells you how many hours the unit has run total number of hours, and then the battery meter is like a fuel gauge. It tells you how much of the battery is left. And it reads like a fuel gauge from full to empty. And it's a little LED readout so that as you work down the battery, as the battery becomes discharged, you'll know when to charge it up. It's a 24-volt system. It uses two 12-volt batteries. And it's a 24-volt system. The drive wheel that is under here is a single drive wheel, and it is a non-marking polyurethane wheel. It is suitable for most industrial finishes, most industrial floors or finishes. If you had a unit that you were going to use in an area where the floor may be wet or the floor may be some composition material, we have one other wheel option available, which is a rubber wheel, which works better on a wet or damp floor. But for most industrial settings, dry atmosphere, dry climate, dry floors, tile floors, any type of, generally speaking, industrial floor that you're familiar with, the wheel that comes standard on this unit works very, very well. The other thing you'll notice on the fork, on the carriages, these forks are adjustable. These forks can move in and out. These are 6-inch wide forks that are 42 inches long, and they can move as close together on this unit as 12 inches or as far apart as 27 inches. Now remember, on the fork over design, the forks are not adjustable. They're welded, they're fixed, because they have to fit down over the outriggers on the floor. So fork over design is fixed forks, adjustable forks on the straddle design. The other thing to remember is the straddle design, even though it's wider, it is suitable for any types of pallets or containers, whether they have closed or open bottoms. When you look at the fork over design, it's only suitable for use with open bottom pallets or skids. There cannot be a bottom board, because the outriggers have to go in where the forks go in. This is a well-made, well-designed unit. Again, it is built especially for Southworth. It is built to our specifications, and it's a unit that will give you years and years of service. So, thanks for listening. I hope I've answered some of your questions, and hope you have an opportunity to use one of these.